Rich and radiant rising worldwide world. That's the WHIRL wide world. As we all collectively whirl and twirl and swirl into a new day, a new epoch, a new time, a new season, a new chapter, a new book, a new movie, a new play, whatever we label that which we are co creating in this avatar called our lives, we are here. I want to send a special shout out to the Sacred Space Zoom Room. I love you to life. Appreciate, love you so much. What a powerful build today that I intended to share uncut, or basically uncut, from the actual live build. However, we have had and are continuing to have technical difficulties, and I am having to re-record everything. Ugh, laughing to keep from crying. Laughter is the best medicine, right? So rather than curse out technology or just give it up, throw my hands up and say, bump it, rather than become entirely discouraged and disgruntled with the whole thing, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just do an abbreviated version of what I shared today. And I am going to give those of you who happen upon my channel, who just stumble onto my picture, my thumbnail, and click on the link, so that just for a few moments you and I can be in sync. I want to share with you, it is my desire and intention to share with you what Spirit shared with me. And I believe that this message, join in the chorus of other intuitives, light workers and wielders, truth speakers and seekers who are delivering the same message. There is a chorus of us. However, it's all hands on deck. And if there's only one person that clicks on this and didn't see all the other messages, then this message is for you. This redo is for you. This this press through and push through is for you. And it's also a message for me in real time to just not give up. Things don't always go the way we want them to go, but just keep on pushing through. My name is Letitia Lovely. This is Lovely Life TV. And today we're talking about this powerful portal that we're in called the month of May, bookended by two powerful full moons. The flower moon, which arrived on the 1st, and the energy we're still in, and then the blue moon, which comes on the 31st. And all of the possibility and potential that we have to alchemize the energy between these two moons with the assistance of the universe and the divine, our inner twin. We truly can rewrite our lives. We truly can create the world in which we want to live in. We don't have to accept the plate that's being placed before us. We can cook up our own meal, y'all. And I'm going to get into a very abbreviated version of how we can do that right after we take this moment. We allow this moment to receive and release a breath. Just going to take a moment to breathe. Allow ourselves to relax, reset, recalibrate. Be intentional about that relaxation of our bodies. Pull our shoulders down. A lot of stress is carried in the shoulders. Make sure our neck is relaxed. You might want to Roll your head around a little bit. Sisters especially, wiggle your hips around. Although the brothers want to get in on this too. Want to wiggle your hips around and place your fingers in those hip joints, because a lot of negative energy, or should I say lower vibrational energy, is stored, is trapped often in that area, particularly with melanated sisters in our hips. A lot of stress and duress, trauma and drama. So we just want to get our bodies in the mood, if you will. Straightening our spine so that when we take these breaths, the life force can travel easily and effortlessly up from the soul of the earth through the chakras and out of the star chakra to connect with the outer sun, balanced between that solar light. And today we're going to switch up from the customized 4-8 recalibrate and go with the traditional 4-4 box meditation or box breathing. Breathing in for 4, holding for 4, breathing out for 4, and holding for 4. And we're going to just breathe for about a minute. And during this time, I would like us to breathe in and out through our mouths. It's called mouth breathing, and it allows a different type of airflow in. We're wanting to breathe in all of the energies created by not only the solar flares and the solar activity, but by this full moon. We're wanting to breathe all of that into our lungs and our brains and our organs for that beautiful music to be played together. And then we want to release all that needs to be released from our avatars. So again, breathing in for 4, holding for 4, breathing out for 4, and holding for 4. Ready? Let's breathe. Hold. Release. And hold. And as we breathe in, raise the head up. And hold, head to the sky, lower the chin. And hold. And keep going with the head up as we breathe and out. Simple Tai Chi energy. In, head up, and out. Breathing in and out through the mouth. Breathe in. Hold. And down. And hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. A few more times. Breathe in. Hold. Relax. Release. Hold. Receive. Hold. Release. Relax. Hold. Receive the life force. Hold. Release. Relax. Hold. 2 more times, family. Release. Not release. Receive. Breathe in. Hold. Release. Relax. And hold. And we're just going to shift our energy, just kind of shake that out, give our bodies a chance to release that extra energy, that extra air, that extra life force that may have been stuck in those areas that we breathed additional air into. Important to remember to breathe. these days because there's so much going on. We're being bombarded with so much energy that is inorganic. Every moment of every day, we're having to intentionally shield ourselves from energies that are not by us or for us, that are not FUBU. We're having to shield ourselves from non-FUBU energy, that which is not for us or by us. And in order to take advantage of this pivotal time we're in, which is one of the reasons that we're being so distracted by all of this negative, lower vibrational, inorganic, inauthentic, artificial energy, is so we don't focus, those of us indigenous to this land and organic and specifically sent as stewards to this planet, so that we don't catch the wave, as it were, in this Scorpio energy and ride it into our destiny. So that we don't take a moment to breathe, so that we don't take a moment and separate ourselves from the distraction and meditate and bring about that which we focus on, so that we don't have a chance to focus, so that we don't have a chance to harness our alchemy and rearrange our existence. This is a powerful month in a line of powerful months. This is a powerful season in a line of powerful seasons. This one particularly important because it is happening in a 1 year, the only month that we will have 2 full moons in a new beginning year. Very powerful. We're going to talk about that. In fact, let's go there now. This is all about realigning with the divine, realigning with nature, going with the natural, the divine flow. Historically, indigenous cultures all over the world celebrated spring from the spring equinox on the 20th or the 21st, depending on whose calendar you want to believe, to May 1st, which was on Friday, the full moon, which we're still in that full moon energy, as a time of fertility, renewal, and rebirth after winter. Agricultural calendars align with the stars. My grandma was not without her farmer's almanac, a book created by Benjamin Banneker, an indigenous melanated brother, indigenous to this land, to the America land. This is not, let's please remember to separate the corporation known as the United States from the land in which it incorporated, which is the land owned by the indigenous melanated people, no matter what you, as a friend of mine used to say, F what you heard. No matter what lies we have been told, this land is our land, that belonging to the melanated. And we know, if we tap into our Akashic record, we know what to do with our land. It's a reason that they want to distract us. It's a reason that we're encouraged to put the first of the year in the dead of winter, where it is not time for things to grow, but time for us to hibernate and refurbish and to get the downloads for this time of year. So this is all about recalibrating back into that organic, natural flow. My grandma always had that farmer's almanac because we aligned not only our agriculture, but our lives with the stars. Seeds are planted as nature directs. Goddesses such as Isis, representing nature and magic, and Hathor, representing love, joy, and fertility, are recognized and honored in the Egyptian celebrations or the Kemetic celebrations. Key elements of ancient celebrations included feasting, fasting, dancing, and offering foods, ensuring the continuity of the lands and the people's abundance. In our indigenous heritage, we were not focusing on inorganic entities such as corporations. It is no accident that May 1st became a day to celebrate workers of industry as opposed to workers of alchemy, where we as a people, as this corporation, put the attention on the worker of industry during the Industrial Revolution, those who were working for someone else's dream, working for someone else's agenda, as opposed to the original celebration, which was all about what we were doing with our hands, with the land, with the abundance in nature, and with our own purpose. Indigenous Americans, those are the melanated on this land, included gratitude to the earth as a key element, giving thanks for the bounty of earth and life of sun. So we are still in that season of birth and rebirth. We are still in that season of new beginnings where we have the assistance of the universe to help us manifest and bring into the present dimension that which exists in other dimensions of our mind, to get rid of that which no longer serves us. So we'll get into that in a little bit, but we have the assistance of the universe, and that is why it is so important to not get caught up in the distraction, to not put our energy into and our battery in the back of agendas that do not serve us and that we do not desire, but rather to focus on the world that we want to create. And how do we do that? We do that with our mind, with our mouth, and with our actions. Aligning with this divine timing. Even though it is taught otherwise, there are 13 moons each year. Most of us know that. But in case there's someone who doesn't, the woman's menses naturally aligns with nature. And in this month, again, we can intentionally align our minds and our actions as well by focusing on the time between these two moons, the one that came on May 1st, the flower moon, the energy of which we're still in, and the blue moon, which arrives on the 31st. We have an opportunity to take advantage of this rare divine timing when the flower moon coming in under Scorpio yields aid in deep, intense emotional shifts, shadow work, authentic self-reflection, and the need to release old limiting patterns. It is so important to get real in this season because that which is authentic and organic is what will flourish in this 1 year, in this 2026 year, from now until the end of March of next year. The blue moon, which will come in Gemini and Sagittarius, can bring answers to the questions that emerge as we reflect and go within and help to close those energetic cycles that are no longer beneficial for our highest good. That is why we've got to get real with ourselves. We want to get rid of anything that is inorganic, that is inauthentic. We want to get rid of someone else living rent-free inside of our head, someone else's desire for us, someone else's goal, someone else's idea of success, someone else's definition for what makes life good. And we want to tap into and return to and remember who we are and what success looks like to us, what our purpose is, our goal, our destiny, why we came here, y'all. We want to align with divine timing. At the end of the day, we simply want to align with the divine. And when we do that, we align with all that the divine stands for, nature, timing, and everything else. Very quickly, some ways to do that. Let me grab a drink real quick. This is the month to align with divine self. Two very simple, often quoted practices to happen during this month, but again, they will be especially potent. They will allow us to help seal the way our lives will look for the rest of our lives, because as it has been said by many of us, intuitives, truth seekers, truth speakers, psychics, high priestesses, alchemists, etc., this 1 year is so very important because it is going to set the stage for at least the next 10 years, or the next 9 years, excuse me, and for some of us, the rest of our lives. So that is why such great attempts are being made to take us out of our bag, if you will, to take us out of ourselves. Let me say it like that. To take us out of ourselves, to take us out of meditation, to take us out of self-reflection, to take us out of going inward and keep our focus outward. So if there's ever a time that you're going to do these things that I'm mentioning, now is the time. Write the vision. Journal the journey. Writing, especially in English, is spelling, literally. So use that to your advantage, as I am going to do. Cast a spell. Let's cast a spell, y'all, on our future now by writing down goals, dreams, and most importantly, a firm plan of action. Let us write down what no longer serves it and burn it. Yes, we've done it again, done it before. Yes, we do it on every blue moon. Do it again. Or not blue moon, every full moon. Well, let's definitely do it on the blue moon too. That's a slip that meant to happen. Do it again, because it's a different power and a different energy that we're in. And often those things that no longer serve us have been with us for decades, buried upon layer of memory, experience, timelines, lifetimes. So sometimes it's not a one and done situation. Sometimes we have to do it over and over and over again until the last vestiges, the last piece of dirt from the corner on the other side of the room of our consciousness has been cleared. And I invite you to write down 3 actions to complete before the next full moon. Create a vision board, people. I have had so many things manifest from my vision boards, which I have practiced since the 90s. The home I'm in right now, almost the exact home, was on a vision board 2 years before we saw it, and a year before they started building it. When we moved into this house, it was brand new. There was no sod even on the grass. So it was literally not even here when I put the picture in a frame on a vision board. So that was literally alchemy, where the universe aligned with that vision for this time. Start a vision book, even better than a vision board, because then you have it right there to go back on and to see what has manifested, see what needs to be changed. I just love a book. Let me just be real. And then finally, let's practice our magic through meditation. Now is the time for active meditation. And what does that look like? Well, while creating the mental picture, sitting in silence of the life desired, we want to activate all of the senses that go with that picture: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. We want to engage all of our emotions. How does it feel in this new reality? Feel that now. Feel that joy. Feel that sense of accomplishment. Feel how it is to win. Feel that love. Feel that freedom, that sovereignty that is now being experienced. How does your life change as a result of that desire being fulfilled? Be in that moment as though it is real, because in a dimension, it is. Who or what gets to come with you into this new life? Who or what gets left behind? What can be released, changed, adjusted right now? Do that right now. And finally, let these be your mantras: self-love, self-care, self-full, and self-first. It is not selfish to put self first. It is the kindest thing you could do, not only to and for yourself, but for others. Aligning with the divine, aligning with self is aligning with the divine, right? When we do all of these things, we will have tests become testimonies. We will have beautiful, miraculous experiences to share. We will have proof of the benefit of these practices by showing the result at the end of the month. So, lovelies, I pray and trust that what I'm sharing with you is beneficial. If there's only one person who hears one sentence in everything that I said and it benefits you, then I have done what I am led to do by coming into these YouTube streets and sharing the downloads that Spirit gives to me. Thank you so much. I appreciate, love you for being here. Please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. I sometimes struggle with what seems to be a very difficult task in gaining new subscribers. I'm going to keep it a buck. Sometimes looking at websites or at YouTube channels that have tens of thousands and millions of subscribers, it gets a little discouraging to have less than 100. But I am not, what's the phrase about small beginnings? I'm not begrudging the small beginning. There's another word, but you know what I'm saying. Everybody started with one subscriber. I am asking in love, however, if you come across my channel, whether or not you think that I may be something or someone you want to listen to all the time, just hit the subscribe button. Do me that favor, would you? So that I can get into the algorithm of the flow of this huge ocean of videos on YouTube. And please consider joining us every first Sunday of each month at the live Radiant Risings that are off of YouTube. They're private. I deem them our sacred space Zoom rooms, where we go deeper into the topics that I cover out here. That can happen by just sending an email to lovelylifetv@gmail.com so that I can put you on the mailing list to get the link when those monthly meetups occur. So on that note, and until next time, don't forget to breathe. Take a moment to smile. And know that no matter what is happening at any given moment, at the end of the day, yours can be a lovely life.